tell us some stories that people can get excited about.
Yeah. So what I find is the most common paradigm, though this is changing, is that there's a couple and he wants sex all the time and she doesn't want to have sex with him. And they end up getting divorced and he moves on to somebody younger that still wants to have sex. And she leaves the relationship and maybe has a new boyfriend, maybe somebody younger, or maybe maybe a woman instead of a man or what have you, because she's so disillusioned with the sex that they had in their marriage. And this is so common. It is a trope. And it's disappointing because, like I said, I believe that everyone can have the most incredible sex life if you know some fundamental things. And so often when I'm talking to people, and I don't work with anyone one-on-one, I'm not a therapist or a counselor or anything like that. I run two companies. One of them is a publisher of passionate lovemaking techniques and bedroom communication skills. And I have an expertise in what I would call sexual regenerative therapies and treatments and sexual biohacking, which is the body side of things. Like if the parts don't work or they hurt or what have you, how do we fix them so that we can use the communication techniques and the pleasuring techniques to have great sex? Because if your body's not working, you're not going to get anywhere.
Exactly.
And then
the hardware is not working.
The
software's not going to work.
Exactly. And I also have a supplement company for libido supplements and blood flow supplements, because most people think, oh, I just don't have any desire. I don't have libido. I just don't want sex. Or I want sex and my partner doesn't want sex and I'm super frustrated. And so this whole idea of we have mismatched libido, it's total crap. If you are healthy, if your gut microbiome is good, if you have good communication and you're honest and both parties can hear what needs to be said and say what needs to be said and be appreciative of the information that's given, and you begin to learn techniques, then you can really start to have this kind of incredible sex that is what I call the upward pleasure spiral, where sex keeps getting better for you both the whole time because you've got all these things in place. And this is the typical thing that happens, is that a woman doesn't want sex with her partner. He feels like she feels like, oh God, he's always horny. He's always begging me for sex. He's always, trying to figure out how to get sex. And he's like, well, she's frigid and she's shut down and she doesn't want me. And I feel rejected. And now I'm angry with her. And so I'm going to emotionally check out. And she's like, I used to have a friend and now he's not even my friend. And we're basically just raising our kids, together in this house, and we're cranky with each other and everybody's grumpy. And I'm constantly trying to avoid him so he doesn't ask me for sex. And our kids know we're not happy and we're being shitty parents. And I mean, this is the story that plays out in bedrooms all over the world. Yeah. And it's super easy to fix that story. It's super easy to transform that story. And it comes from understanding and getting in the world of the other party and understanding that your approach and what you're doing hasn't worked and there's a better way. And the thing about living in the male body is you don't know how it is in the female body and vice versa. If women understood how hard it is to be constantly horny and feel rejected, they would have much more mercy on their men. And if men could understand how we get penetrated so often too soon that we can't stand to be penetrated anymore, and that we don't have great orgasms from it because our partners don't know what to do and we don't know what to do. If we could just have them understand how to open us, how to make our yoni flower and open like a beautiful lotus, then that would be so much better. And so what I try to do with my techniques and my communication skills is bridge that gap between what we're doing and all the mistakes we're making with each other, and what are the good techniques and strategies that allow you to have great sex. And they come from 3 different areas. They come from understanding how libido, desire, and arousal are really a matrix, and they're different things. It's kind of like mind, body, spirit. Yeah. It's very similar to that. And once you start to understand the difference between libido, desire, and arousal, like I got an email from a woman just yesterday that I have to still reply to. And she said, you know, I work out, I'm doing red light, I'm doing cryotherapy, I'm taking supplements, I've had some CO2 lasering done on my vaginal canal to try to make the pain go away. I'm on bioidentical hormones, but I just don't have any desire for my partner. Like once we get started, I usually have a good time, but I never want to have sex. And I thought to myself, here she thinks she's supposed to act like a man.
Yeah.
Women don't have very much spontaneous desire. We really have responsive desire.
Wow.
We really need our male-bodied partners to carry the torch and to make the offers, make them small to begin with, not offers for intercourse, but offers for pleasure, and to be fun and to be emotionally present for us and to soothe us and to help us get relaxed and surrender. Because we don't start in arousal, we start by our arousal begins in relaxation, not in push our buttons, spin our dials kind of thing. And our male body partners are like trying to get us turned on, you know, and they think, well, she doesn't want me because she never initiates.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of guys, I say, if she never initiated again, like I ask a lot of guys, do you take the trash out every week? Yeah, that's my job. Do you take it out without even asking your wife if you need to? Yeah, of course. It's just my job. And I'm like, have you been taking the trash out for like the last 27 years, every single Sunday night? Yeah, of course. And how about the rats? Do you kill all the rats that get in the house or the snakes or the scorpions or the spiders or whatever? Is that your job? Yeah, that's my job. I mean, I wouldn't want my wife to have to kill the snakes. I'm like, okay, so what if your other job was you always initiate? What if you're always the one that's making the offers? What if she never initiates? What if it just happened that a spider went by and she whacked it with something? That'd be fine, right? What if you're walking by and she's like, okay, let's have sex. But what if she never does? What if that's your job? Yeah. Would you be feeling like a victim? You don't feel like a victim having to take out the trash. Yeah. You don't feel like a victim having to kill the rats. Why would you feel like a victim if you have to initiate, if it's your job? It really reframes things. But then they're like, but if I offer her sex, she's not going to want sex. And I'm like, well, that's because you're already horny. You already have an erection. You're ready to go. You're testosterone dominant. And she's not. She's estrogen dominant. She's worried about things. She needs things to be safe before she can relax. She needs to get out of her head, which is going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and into her body. And that's your job, is to help her do that. So how can you help her do that? Make her small offers. Would you like a glass of Chardonnay and a foot rub? Would you like to snuggle here on the couch with me and I'll hold you and pet you and you can tell me about your day? When you start with small offers with a woman, it helps her relax. And if you're not trying to get sex, and by sex, I mean intercourse, if you're not motivated just to touch her when you want sex, if you play with her, if you lift her up and kiss her, if you move her body around, if you hold her hands on nature walks, if you grab her butt once in a while, if you tell her she's pretty and smart, a lot, it makes you a lot more desirable to her when you're not just trying to get sex from her.